Welcome everybody to this second 30-day challenge TV episode. The first one actually worked, so we're actually going to try it again for the second time. Oh, good on you, Paul, for promoting your show during my show. Gee whiz. Thanks so much for the comments that have been going on for this past, the first show obviously, and the whole process of this TV show. It's created a wave of other people doing TV shows, which is great, and I think I enjoyed a lot of the feedback we got from the first time. In fact, I have a running sheet, which is very unusual for me, as a lot of you will know. Now, just a couple of just so for those of you who are new in, and just a few of the sort of the ground rules here. Just over to this side here, you'll see a chat window. Now, you need to be logged into Justin TV to join in as part of the chat. I have some very helpful moderator dudes there, and thank you, Nez, and thank you, Rob, for helping me out there. And if you ask a question, particularly during this first part of the show, I'm not going to be able to see it, because otherwise I'd be over here reading that all the time, which would be a little bit rude. But the boys are on the ball, and if you've got a question, they'll note it, and they will iChat me, making sure I've got my iChat here. Yes, check. Roger, all good. Okay, so you'll be able to ask questions in that window. That window. Which is very, very cool. Would ask you too, if you're there, if you could, once you've signed into Justin TV, if you could add me as a favourite, and if you add me as a subscriber, a very cool feature is if I'm doing tests, and very occasionally I'll do some tests during the week, or I'll be trying something out, you'll get an email to be notified that it's actually happening live. And what I do during these tests is test this technology and all the the cool stuff that you will see going on in this show today. And for some of you, not for all of you, and for a lot of you it would be absolute snorefest, but for those of you who are interested in doing these type of broadcasts, might be interested in being notified literally of when that happens. Also, if you're not on the Twitter feed, and you can see the Twitter feed, I should update the Twitter to say the show is on now. But that Twitter feed will also, if you're not subscribed to Twitter, do a search for me. It's Ed_Dale, and you can follow along, and I'll Twitter and let you guys know when the show is happening. So that's that. Now, let's see, what have we got? Look, feedback from the show, if you have a look here, well, as I'm looking at this now, 11,249 views of the channel over the last week, which is pretty extraordinary stuff when you think about it. So that was really, really a really positive thing. The technology for this to happen is absolutely head-shaking, knowing what is required to put something and multicast all of this right across here. Thank you, Tim Brennan. I just noticed you did the Twitter feed for Ed Dale. Thank you. See, this is what I love about this stuff, because if you're not a subscriber, pop along and add me to Twitter, and you'll get all the updates when I see cool stuff going on. In fact, what I can do is, just while I'm thinking of it, I'll just put on, you'll see me doing this live, I'll just type it on live now. Notice I have to look at the keyboard, which is very, very sad for somebody who makes their living online, but hey, what can you do? On live now. And of course I can't type it. That's not news to any of you who've read any of my emails ever, and should be in fact an inspiration to anybody who well, I basically failed English, so it should be a bit of a inspiration that you don't obviously have to be a professor of English to survive in the online world, although it does help, which is a good